You know, when you think of the Amazon, you probably picture this huge, dense jungle, right? But what if it's more than that? What if it's a place that actually fights back against exploration? A place hiding secrets that our science just can't touch? Well, today, that's exactly where we're headed. So there's this old book, right? It's called The Book of the Amazon Jungle, and it kicks off with this incredibly chilling line. It totally sets the mood, doesn't it? It's basically telling us we're about to step into a world where it's hard to tell what's real and what's just legend. And the deeper you go, the blurrier it gets. So yeah, that's the big question we're tackling. What is this massive jungle still hiding from us? We're going to try and peel back the layers, you and me, starting with the stuff that's weird but real, and then moving into legends that honestly feel a little too real. All right, let's get into it. First up, we're starting with the most basic layer of mystery, the plants and animals. But here's the thing about the Amazon. It's a world where beauty isn't really an invitation. A lot of the time, it's a warning. I mean, it's like the rules of nature just don't apply here. You've got trees with leaves so shiny, they're basically mirrors. Trees that, when you cut them, bleed this red sap that looks just like blood. Even a waterfall that's completely black. And then at night, get this. Huge parts of the forest just light up because millions of fireflies are all flashing at the exact same time. It's magical, and nobody can really explain how they do it. Okay, take the Pendola bird. This thing is a perfect example. It creates these incredible hanging nests. They honestly look like works of art hanging in the canopy. Just gorgeous. But, and this is a big button, if you get too close, that artist turns into a fighter, a vicious one. It will literally attack you, aiming its super sharp beak right for your eyes. It just goes to show you, in the Amazon, beautiful often means deadly. So the big stuff is scary, for sure. But the danger in the Amazon isn't always something you can see coming. As we go a little deeper, you start to realize that some of the most terrifying threats, they're tiny. But there are a lot of them, and they are scary efficient. Okay, picture this, a spider, the size of your hand. But here's the creepy part. You can barely even see it. It's called the glass spider, and its body is so clear you can see its organs. It makes it practically invisible against the leaves. Perfect camouflage, right? You would have no idea it was even there until it's way, way too late. All right, now let's talk about a predator where the danger is all about the numbers. We're not talking about a few ants you'd find on your picnic blanket. Oh no, we're talking about army ants. And they move in colonies that can have more than 1 million of them. They don't act like individual ants. They act like one single, terrifying creature. And the way they hunt is straight out of a horror movie. It's unbelievably efficient. See, they don't chase their prey. They surround it. The whole swarm just flows over whatever's in their path, and millions of little jaws just start tearing it apart, all at once. They can strip a huge wild boar down to a skeleton in just a few hours. It's just an unstoppable force of nature. Okay, so we've seen the natural horrors. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the human mysteries. The ghosts, you could say. We're going to look at the people who were brave enough, or maybe foolish enough, to search for the Amazon secrets and ended up getting swallowed by it. And the most famous story has to be Percy Fawcett. He was this British explorer who was absolutely convinced that a lost, advanced city, he called it the Lost City of Z, was hidden deep in the jungle. So back in 1925, he goes in with his son and a friend. For a few weeks, everything's fine. Letters are getting out, and then just silence. Nothing. To this day, nobody has ever found a single trace. No bodies, no gear, nothing. They just vanished into thin air. And don't think this is all just ancient history. This stuff is still happening. As recently as 2018, a wildlife photographer was flying a high-tech drone over a part of the jungle nobody had ever really explored. And the live video feed starts sending back these amazing images. You could see these weird shapes on the ground that looked for all the world like ancient ruins. So naturally, he flies the drone in to get a closer look, right? And then, poof, nothing. The signal just died, the screen went totally black, the drone and whatever images it recorded just gone. It's like the jungle saw it and just took it back. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, was it just a simple glitch, a technical problem, or did that drone see something the jungle didn't want us to see? Okay, so we've covered real, documented history. Now we're going to take a step even deeper, right into the world of legend. And this is the absolutely wild and kind of heartbreaking story of an archaeologist named Thomas Riggage. So back in 1984, this guy, Riggage, decides he's going into this place called Santa Maria. The local tribes were like, don't go, it's cursed. But he went anyway. And the stuff he found, it's just mind-blowing. First, a river where the water is literally boiling 24/7. Then he finds the shed skin of an anaconda that was so huge it had to be a monster from a myth. And then, deep inside this cursed land, he finds it. The discovery of a lifetime. It was this weird, beautiful flower, nothing like anyone had ever seen before. He studies it and comes to this unbelievable conclusion. The flower's essence was the key to extending life, like dramatically extending life. He believed he'd found the secret to immortality. And that's why that giant anaconda was able to live for hundreds of years. And you can just feel the excitement, the pure triumph in his last diary entry. He literally wrote, "Today is the greatest day of my life." He was convinced he was about to change everything for humanity. A new dawn, he called it. Yeah, well, that new dawn never happened. On their way out, there was this freak accident, and his whole team was killed. Ragach actually survived that, only to get bitten by a venomous snake a little while later. Think about the irony there. The man who found the secret to eternal life dies clutching the flower that could have saved him. And just like that, the secret was lost to the jungle all over again. All right, here we are. The final layer. This is the deepest, the wildest, and honestly, the most unbelievable mystery of them all. This is a secret that, if it's true, well, it changes everything we think we know about being human. So the story goes that deep, deep in the Amazon, there's this tribe that has never been contacted. They're called the cheetah. The neighboring tribes call them the cheetah people. Why? Because supposedly their skin has natural cheetah spots and stripes. We're not talking about tattoos or body paint. It's part of their actual skin. And they don't worship spirits or nature gods. They worship one single, very strange being. They call it the forest god. And what they describe, it's a creature that's half man, half cheetah. It walks on two legs like a person, but has the incredible speed and power of a big cat. They believe this being is their actual ancestor, and that it's still out there, a living, breathing guardian of the jungle. Now this is where it gets really interesting. An anthropologist, a Dr. Alejandro Vargas, claimed he actually made contact with them. And he wrote that the way they talked about this forest god, the absolute awe, and frankly the terror in their eyes, it wasn't how you talk about a myth or a story. He was convinced they were living alongside something real, something that our science just has no way of explaining. So from boiling rivers and flowers that grant immortality, all the way to a tribe of cheetah people, it's pretty clear the Amazon doesn't give up its secrets easily. And it leaves us with this one final, really haunting question, doesn't it? Are these all just wild stories, just legends? Or are we getting glimpses of a reality that our modern world just isn't prepared to handle?